When I got a review code for Animated Jigsaw Beautiful Japanese Scenery on the Switch, I initially figured that I'd have nothing to say. I mean, it's a virtual jigsaw puzzle with moving images of gorgeous Japanese vistas. What more needs to be said? But then I decided to actually play the game and realized almost immediately that maybe I do have something to say after all. I'll try to make this quick. As the name suggests, Animated Jigsaw Beautiful Japanese Scenery is a game where you solve a series of jigsaw puzzles with gorgeous moving images from the country of Japan. That's all it is. There's no story or hidden complexity, it's just a series of simple jigsaw puzzles that you can play either on your TV or in handheld mode. Now, while I've never been a big fan of jigsaw puzzles, I can certainly see the value in having a version on the Switch. It allows players to put together puzzles that are more than just boring old pictures, and even lets up to 4 players get involved without crowding around a small table. Plus, it has 10 different puzzles, and you can take it wherever you go. If I was a big fan of putting together jigsaw puzzles, then I'd probably see this as a great deal. But before you rush to the eShop and plop down your hard-earned money, there are a few things we need to talk about. I hate to say it, but Animated Jigsaw is a terrible game that makes putting together a simple puzzle a lot more frustrating than it needs to be. What we have here is the video game equivalent of the "you had one job" meme. Like I said before, you can play this game on both the TV and in handheld mode. What I didn't mention is that both of these modes are broken in entirely different ways. Let's start with the handheld mode, which is the better of the two options. Using the touchscreen makes moving and placing pieces fairly painless, even if the point-and-press gameplay isn't as precise as you would like. The problem is that you don't have a lot of room to work with, and the puzzle pieces are a little too small for their own good. This is especially true when you graduate from the 60 and the 120-piece puzzles up to the 240. Picking up and placing the exact tiny pieces you want becomes a nightmare on the Switch's screen. Now you might think that moving the game to the TV might solve the problem, but all that does is create a whole new set of issues. You do not want to control this game using the Joy-Con. No, I'm serious, and it bears repeating. You do not want to control this game using the Joy-Con. Even if you can get beyond the slow and sluggish cursor movement, you're going to quickly discover that picking up and moving pieces doesn't work. I mean, you can grab a piece and move it a few inches, but the game has a bad habit of letting go for no reason. It'll just drop the piece and not let you pick it back up. And it's not an isolated instance, as it happened over and over and over. It's like trying to put together a jigsaw puzzle using only your feet. And that assumes you can pick up the piece in the first place. This is not always a given, as I ran into a lot of problems where simply getting the game to register my button press was too much to ask. And much like handheld mode, the problem is only amplified when you're asked to put together a 240-piece puzzle. It may take you a half hour to complete a puzzle, but that's only because you spent 20 of those minutes fighting the damn controls. On the dimly lit bright side, I do like that the pieces will snap into place and that you can sort based on edge and inner pieces. I also think the locations and moving images are lovely. There's a nice variety featuring famous Japanese locations taken from all seasons. The best thing I can say about this game is that the subtitle is accurate. This is indeed a game filled with beautiful Japanese scenery. Too bad the rest of the game is so hard to control. There's a bit in the press note suggesting that Animated Jigsaw is a fun and stress-free experience. I assure you, there's nothing stress-free about this game. If anything, the imprecise and often broken gameplay made me angrier than I've ever been trying to solve a real jigsaw puzzle. Animated Jigsaw Beautiful Japanese Scenery may be an accurate name, but that doesn't make it a good game. Hey, thanks for watching our review. So here's the question of the day. What's your favorite video board game? Now, I'm not talking about a board game based on a video game, but rather a video game that's pretending to be a board game. It could be anything from Monopoly or Mario Party or other games that don't start with M. Personally, I have a soft spot for Anticipation on the NES. I wish they'd bring that back. Let me hear your thoughts in the comments below. In other news, I'm going to be finishing off the week with my review of MX vs. ATV All Out. So I recommend you click that subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then.